This was me at 19 years old. And I remember going to university, working part-time, and I just genuinely felt stuck. And it wasn't because I didn't have good people around me or a roof over my head or no food in the belly, right? I always had those things, but I just felt so far away from my goals of time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. And I think every single person at this age kind of has the same goal, right? They want to be able to do the nicer things in life. They want to be able to treat their family. They just want that freedom, especially in today's day and age. Now, fast forward over 10 years. I'm now 29. I'm showing my age here. I'm now at a point where I have all of those things. I'm someone that does over 100 grand a month, every single month. And also I've been able to do the things that I've wanted to in life. And I'm not saying this to make you feel like even worse in your situation right now. In fact, I'm doing the complete opposite. I want to take you from stuck to unstuck. And in this video, I'm going to share some of the things that I've learned along my journey and some of the things I don't see many people talk about. And because I don't get many views on my YouTube channel, you guys that do view this are pretty lucky because you can take these key things away and start to implement them into your life. So let's go from that stuck to unstuck in this video. Now, the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is shifting identity, okay? Because I think what a lot of people need to understand is if you are looking at trying to become the person that you want to be, you need to be able to shift your identity so that you can take action towards being that person. So let me break it down in an easier way to understand, right? This is you right now, okay? And let's say your goal is to get that time, location, and financial freedom. And we're going to say you're going to get that at, let's say, 20K a month. You might be watching this video thinking, well, actually, I could do it with 10, but trust me, you probably can't, right? So 20K is going to be where you want to be. Now, let's look at the habits of someone that is doing 20K a month. First of all, pretty much zero limiting beliefs, okay? Which means they have this delusional mindset so that they know that they can achieve great things. In fact, they don't feel stuck. That's number one as well. Number two, sorry. The other thing is, if you look at someone that's doing 20K a month, and let's say this person here gets invited out for a family dinner, okay? They're not going to be thinking about where are we going for dinner. What they're going to be thinking about is what work am I going to miss or what opportunities am I going to miss by going for dinner? Now, this video isn't me saying you shouldn't go for dinner. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is a different way of thinking. Whereas you right now might be asking, what restaurant are we going to? And it's actually about shifting your everyday habits and starting to operate and act like someone who is doing 20K a month before you even get there. So that means you might have to adopt, eliminating doom scrolling, okay? This isn't making you rich. So if you're watching content, that's absolutely fine, but watch long form so it doesn't fry your brain. That person who's doing 20K a month is learning consistently, right? Continuous professional development, consistently pushing themselves. This person, this you, is someone that most likely doesn't believe in themselves, right? And there's a bit of disbelief. Now, I'm not saying that's definitely you, but I remember being at that level where I was only doing, let's say, 2K a month or under. And I used to always think, well, it doesn't even matter really. I want to be able to do it, but I don't think I can. This is disbelief. This is the internal thoughts that are getting the better of us, okay? So this person has belief. They understand that it is possible and they've had to keep that. But the most important thing, and here's where you really need to write this down, is consistency, okay? Consistency is what takes an entrepreneur from 0 to 20K a month, because it doesn't happen overnight. I know you see these guys online that tell you that they've, doubled their money on a crypto coin or whatever, but that's not you watching this video right now. So ignore the noise and start to be consistent with your habits. So what you can start doing is waking up earlier, start to study, start to act like someone who's doing 20K a month. Now, when this person that is doing 20K a month is trying to go to 20 to 100, you will also notice they are doing an identity shift as well, okay? And it's a consistent identity shift throughout your journey to achieve the bigger mums. It's not necessarily about having the right business model. It's not necessarily about having the right people around you. What it is about the mindset unlock. And I know it sounds a bit crazy, but 0 to 10K a month is genuinely just mindset, okay? Having the right vehicle and having the right mindset so that you know you can achieve your goals. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, which is identity shifting. So to do this really clearly, all I want you to do is start to think how that person who's doing 20K a month acts. What time do they wake up? What information are they consuming on a daily basis? Who are they hanging around with? What sort of business models are they doing? How did they grow? How are they consistent? That's the type of that is going to get you to that next level. Not just looking at them saying that's a great car, that's a great watch, okay? So you have to completely shift your identity. The next, I guess, tip that I want to give you guys, right, is do the thing you've been avoiding. Now, this is actually going to test your mental strength, okay? Because as, business people, entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call us, right? We have to make ourselves uncomfortable to get comfortable. And the reason why right now you're feeling stuck is because you're probably too comfortable. So you might have just been, let's say you're in university, you might have just been given some coursework to do and you're putting it off until deadline, right? We're all used to doing that, okay? Or you might be someone that works a 9 to 5 and you've promised yourself that you're going to start to build that business, but you don't actually do it. There's no action, okay? What you need to do is now take that one thing that you've been avoiding for the last 2 months, 3 months, 2 days, whatever it is, and start to act on that thing. Because that's going to teach you how to become uncomfortable to get comfortable. There are so many things that I hate doing on a daily basis, by the way. And one of the things that I really struggle with is content, okay? And you might be watching this video thinking this guy's really good, but I'm not good at content. I absolutely suck at it. But again, I'm doing this because it makes me uncomfortable being on camera, talking on camera. But I also know that I want to get good at it. So one, I can share a message, but two, it's going to help me grow my personal brand, which is going to make me even more comfortable than what I am right now. Okay. So again, take that one thing that you've been avoiding for the last X amount of time and start to work on it. The next thing I want to say is this. Do you actually want it? Because I feel like a lot of people that get into entrepreneurship, that get into business, that get into self-improvement, think that they want it, but really they end up being quite lazy, okay? And if you do actually want this, and it's like your life depends on it, you will start to improve your journey. You will actually get to where you need to be. So I think the first thing that I would be asking myself is, do I actually want it? What would my life look like if I was able to do the things that I genuinely want? And how bad do I actually want it, right? Because I can almost guarantee if we ask 100 people, okay, in your local high street, let's just assume that that's London, right? Let's assume it's London. And we ask 100 people in London, do you want to make 20K a month? I can almost guarantee all 100 people will say yes, okay? Every single person who doesn't want to make 20 grand a month. But when you start asking questions like, are you willing to work later? Are you willing to invest in yourself? And I mean financially as well as time, right? So investing in your time, investing in mentorships, masterminds, whatever it is. Are you willing to network with new people? Are you willing to fail? Now the hands start dropping. So out of those 100 hands, we're probably going to be left with, let's say, 20, okay? That's 20 people. So we've already eliminated 80 people. That's 20 people. Then if we ask, a week down the line, how are they getting on? That 20 probably goes to 2, okay? Because what they've realized is they couldn't keep consistent. And this is because they don't actually want it as bad as they feel like they do, okay? So right now, if you're feeling stuck, what I want you to do is ask yourself that question. How bad do I actually want it? What am I really trying to achieve here? Do I want the things that I'm looking to get? Because if you do want to get those things badly, I mean badly, you will sacrifice everything, okay? You will take so many more risks. You won't be risk adverse anymore, okay? You're gonna take way more risks. And actually, you're gonna be someone that pushes yourself beyond belief. So when we look at the stairs, instead of climbing up them nice and slowly, there are an awful diagram of stairs there, you're actually gonna sprint up them, which means you're gonna fall down these stairs a lot. However, when you do finally nail how to run up those stairs, you're gonna fly, okay? And this is because you genuinely want to change your situation. There are so many people that get sucked in by going, oh, I wanna change my situation, and then 10 days later, they've completely quit. If you are someone watching this video, I really do hope you stick towards your goals, because it is possible. I'm living proof of that. But I will say this, it's a journey. It's a complete mess sometimes, right? It's like this, it's an absolute roller coaster. So you need to be someone that genuinely wants it. And that will give you the fuel so that you can continue running up those stairs. I mentioned sacrifices a second ago. And actually, I want to talk about one thing. You need to cut things out. Now, those things could be people, could be habits, could be lifestyle. But in order for you to genuinely get unstuck, you need to make a change. So the reason why I say people, and I know this is a bit harsh saying it, but if the people you're hanging around with aren't where you want to be, that doesn't give you a great chance, right? So if they're spending their time drinking alcohol, partying, smoking weed, whatever it is, and they're not spending that time actually trying to improve their situation, you're gonna pick up their habits, you're gonna pick up their lifestyle, you're not gonna get to where you need to be. So it's time to actually make that change and cut those people out. And I know that sounds brutal, but it's true. But same with habits, right? If your habits are keeping you lazy and you're not doing enough in your day, that's because you're so used to these bad habits that they're slowing you down. And then it's the same with a lifestyle as well. Like, stop going for the easy lifestyle straight away, because it will not happen. If you want to get the nice things in life, you need to be someone that is genuinely willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do. So start making sacrifices. You need to cut the things out that are slowing you down. We all know what they are as well, right? Like, it could be the people you hang around with. It could be the food you eat. It could be the fact that you can't discipline yourself so that you can't actually work on your business. Like, these things are screaming at you right now, but you're not doing anything about it. Lastly, the thing that I really want to talk about, and it's something that took me a while to really adopt into my own lifestyle, that kept me stuck for a while, is actually understanding the value of money and when it's important to let it go. Because I call this money awareness. And when you're building a business and when you're changing your situation, actually you're going to take a step back, right? So you might be here, let's say here, right? You might have 2K to your name right now. You actually need to take a step back so that you can get to that next level, right? And what do I mean by this? You might have to invest in a mentorship. You might have to get support. You might have to invest in ads. Like, there are so many things that you need to do to actually get towards that goal, because you're not going to see instant gratification. You're not just going to put 1K in somewhere and all of a sudden get 10K out. But what you are going to have to do is invest in your skill set, invest in your time, and start to let go of this money. I'll give you another example with client capital, right? Because I think that's a very good example. Right now, we run one funnel, okay? And this funnel makes us a lot of money. However, we want to be able to get to that next level. So we're looking at investing in a new funnel, okay? We've just paid an agency about £10,000 a month, and they're going to be able to help us create this new funnel so that we have 2 funnels on the go. Now, this is a complete risk, okay? We're letting go of money here. And the reason why it's a complete risk is we've never done that specific funnel before. We don't know whether it's going to work. We don't know whether it's actually going to make us the money. It could completely ruin our business. But guess what? That's what we need to do to get to the next level. So going back to you right now, if you've got 2K in the bank, look at what you need to do to get to that next level, and stop looking at money as a tangible object. Money is a byproduct of where we want to be. That time freedom, that location freedom, that financial freedom. So stop looking at it as that one thing that is going to take you to that next level. You actually need to let go. I hope this video helped. I will do an expanded video on this if you guys want to see it, but make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.